Hi, this is Dr. Randy Hurst. I'm doing this video on what I refer to as intent versus impact. So the idea here is, have you said something to someone and had it misunderstood? Had it reacted to or taken badly? Or you just go, how did you get that? Have you reacted to somebody, what they've said or what they've done, and they explain, that isn't at all where I was going. That's not what I meant. So have you talked it through with someone and found, at least in some cases, that the reaction was a surprise to that other person about your interpretation, that they just had never intended it at all? That's the issue about intent versus impact. And one of the things that happens is that if somebody has reacted to something that you've said or done, and you don't know where they're coming from, one way of responding to that is just avoid them or avoid doing those things that they seem to react to. And then weirdly, what you're doing, this is a theme that you've heard in some of the other videos, is you're rewarding that person's potentially strong reaction. You're not clarifying. You're not asking, wait a minute, what did you think I meant? Or what did you think I intended by saying what I said? And similarly, if you get a gut reaction inside that somebody has done or said and you react, you might say, well, were you saying this? Were you saying this? Or meaning that? And if they are, then you deal with it. But at least you haven't pulled back and avoided. You haven't, in essence, rewarded their standing up for themselves in a way that got you to pull back. You want to be on kind of a level footing. So by checking to see if their intent is what you interpreted correctly, then you can decide, well, what kind of relationship do I want with this person that they really did intend to threaten me, to bark at me, to be that way, that nasty with me? How does that impact your sense of what your boundaries are, or what you do in that relationship? But avoid taking words at face value. I can't tell you. Oddly, one of the reasons that I'm doing these videos is that I see people taking psychological disorders, diseases, or whatever, in the wrong way, because the word means something to them that psychologists never meant it to mean. For example, in some of the kinds of issues, problem issues, we don't know if there's a cause, and sometimes there isn't a real cause. It's just that the person has gotten into a behavior pattern that is more problematic in their relationships with themselves or with other people, more so than 90-95% of other people. It's at the extreme end that's affecting big parts of their lives and relationships. And we look for, is there some underlying brain or genetic or medical reason? Sometimes it's a learned pattern. And really the issue is, how do you bring up something to see if what you think the person is doing is actually what they're intending? Or if you react strongly, are you intending how they take it? And to be able to back up and take your part of the responsibility for clarifying their intention or clarifying your own. And would that make a difference in how you respond to situations so that they don't misinterpret it as easily? If the person really does intend to react badly, to get you to back down, that's what I refer to as a monster behavior. And Again, I mentioned earlier, that sets up for, issues about boundaries, issues about how to give feedback and confront problem behaviors in a relationship. So, see what you think. This intent versus, whoa, where did that come from? The impact. And see if you can get things clarified with the person rather than just avoid the person or avoid conflict. Avoidance really doesn't help. At the same time, I don't encourage anybody to run in like a bull in a china shop and press for some resolving at that moment. Sometimes it's you want to not set up for a whole nother kind of reaction that the other person has. It really is kind of a question. Whoa, what did you think I meant? That's not threatening to the other person, hopefully. Check out what you react with inside and decide how to respond, but also to check out, well, did you mean this thing that's how it hit me? Okay, see what you think. See if it helps. Yeah, thanks.